Hey everyone, what's going on? It's your boy Krebsey Crypto, and for today's video we'll be going over how to mine to Nicehash with a 2GB graphics card or higher. But don't worry, I'll be going over some other algorithms and mining pools briefly too for your 2GB graphics card. This is kind of like an all-in-one video. I'm going to be showing you mainly Nicehash, that's what we're going to be focusing on, but there's also going to be other small things throughout the video that I point to that you can use your 2GB graphics card to. I have a whole notepad document made up of all the algorithms that I personally have figured out like you can mine with 2GB, and some of these are on Nicehash, so I'll be showing you how to actually use a 2GB graphics card on Nicehash so you could be paid out in Bitcoin if you want, because I know a lot of people use Nicehash because they have like the all-in-one program and it's nice and simple, but this is going to be using the actual mining softwares and pointing to the actual Nicehash stratum. That's why we're on the stratum generator here. Some people don't know about this, so I figured to make a video on it because, like I said, a lot of people use just the all-in-one, but it doesn't really bring up all the algorithms or it doesn't pick up certain cards. So this is going to allow you to pretty much use any card you want with any mining software, because I know as well Nicehash has recently removed a lot of the software like algorithms if they aren't digitally signed, which a lot of mining software don't choose to be just because of the freedom of choice. But yeah, I'm not saying by any means going to Nicehash with a 2GB graphics card is going to be profitable by any means or anything like that. I just figured to give this as like a learning video or kind of like just knowledge for you guys, something you could try out and play around with. Maybe there's just a pile of old graphics cards that you have laying around that are literally collecting dust, and you can fire them up and go ahead and produce a little bit of income as long as like the power consumption isn't too much. But that's why I have multiple algorithms, because they all use different power consumptions. There's a lot of different components that go into each algorithm to make them profitable, to make them better for your GPU, to make them worse. There's a lot of things, just like we've seen with Ravencoin, like with the Kapow algorithm. We've seen with other ones in my videos. There's ones that don't really use too much wear, but there's other ones that just completely trash a graphics card. So with all this information I'm going to be bringing in this video, if you go in the description, there's going to be a Google Docs link, a Google Documents, not like an actual Docs or anything like that, just Google Documents. And that will have all the 2GB algorithms, pretty much my notepad that you'll see in this video of all the information I typed out. I'll be posting that to Google Documents so you guys can publicly see it, and I may even open it up so you guys can go ahead and add to it, like the community here, all the subscribers and people that view. So if you find a 2GB algorithm or something, just a lower end one for 3GB even, we could start compiling a whole document so we can go ahead and document all these algorithms so people just have a starting point or learning point with mining. But let's get started with today's tutorial. So now you're probably wondering, oh, like what algorithms do I do for 2GB? Well, I'll show you my notepad I have compiled here, and as you see I have a 2GB mining list, and these are all the algorithms or coins, if you will, that you can mine with 2GB that I have tried, except for Neoscript. As I've noted here, it's untested. But we can go through this list here, and I'll just go over quickly like these algorithms and how to like quickly set them up and what miners to use. And then we have the pools to use for like 2GB GPUs. We have auto exchange ones, so Zpool and Zergpool, which automatically exchange most of these algorithms and smaller coins into more stable coins if you use the payout currencies that are always there. There's a list of them on the website, the guaranteed payout coins for Zpool and Zergpool. If you mine and convert to those ones, you're guaranteed a payout. But like I said, we're going to be focusing on the Nicehash portion of it. So for Bitcoin mining, you want to use Nicehash for 2GB. You're not directly mining Bitcoin, you're going to be mining some of these algorithms, and you get paid out from Nicehash into Bitcoin. So we'll just go over that quickly. So for most of these algorithms like X16R, X16R V2, and X16RT, Garlic coin, so Allium I think it is, MYGR, those ones, like a bulk of them, can be mined with ccminer. So we'll be focusing on using that program for the 2GB graphics cards. So before we go over to the Nicehash website, we'll want to figure out which algorithms will work best with our 2GB graphics cards and which ones are on Nicehash as well and what miners to use. So for example, we'll just use X16R V2 and say we'll use that one, and what you want to do is go over to the link in the description here. It's nicehash.com/stratum-generator, and these are all the algorithms and stratums you can use on Nicehash. So you can mine to it, and then it will connect to Nicehash, and it will be even on your Nicehash app or on your dashboard, if you will. So once you're on the website here, there's going to be two little drop downs, and it's simple to use. So all you do is click on this drop down, and as you see, there's a list of a whole bunch of different algorithms that you can go ahead and use. So as I said, we want to look for X16RV2. So if you click on X16RV2, and then that will select the algorithm, and then the next thing you want to do is select your closest location, as it says here. So there's a few different options, Europe and USA. So I'll just be going with USA East, as that's closest to my location. And then once you find like your location, you can look on a map and find which one's closest to you. You just want to click generate address. And then what's that going to do is spit out this information down below here, mainly the stratum URL. And then what you want to do is keep that stratum URL noted. So we'll just keep this page open here. And this is going to be for your mining config file. And then below is the username and password you want to use for your mining config file. So this will work with any algorithm. So you select the algorithm, your location, and generate address, and it will just generate it right there. And then you can just click copy, and it will copy it over. So from the list on the Google Documents, you can pull up which algorithm you want to try or use for Nicehash. Not all of these are listed. Like I said, I listed some of these for the auto exchange pool, so for Z pool and Zerg pool. But all you can do is, let's say, we'll look for UBQ coin, X16R, and all these X16RV2, X16RT. So what you want to do is just remember those. You come to the drop down here, and then you can just scroll through and see all the other ones. So X16R is right there. You could select that one if you wanted to. You can scroll up a little bit, you can keep looking. There's NeoScript that was on the list as well. So there's a few different options to allow your 2 gigabytes to go ahead and use. And of course, you can go ahead and use 3 gigabytes, 4 gigabyte ones, as there's a whole list of algorithms here. So you can go ahead and just see if your graphics card works with that algorithm. But I mainly bring this up because when people look up like profits for their cards, so for example, let's say I look up GTX 1650 profits for 4 gigabyte, it'll bring you to the Nicehash website. And then if you go ahead and scroll down to like the profitability, it'll show you these different algorithms that are being mined. And sometimes on your mining software for Nicehash, like the all-in-one program that they supply, it doesn't actually bring up those certain algorithms. I can show you an example here. So if we just head over to the profitability calculator here, as you see, I have my NVIDIA GTX 1650 punched in. I don't pay any electricity costs, so it makes 60 USD a day. I am in Canada, so I can convert to Canadian, but just tutorial purpose here. So if you just scroll down to the bottom, it's going to show you what algorithms are actually being mined on like Nicehash and being paid out in Bitcoin here. So as you see, X16RV2, Zelhash, and Kapow. But when you actually run the Nicehash program itself, when you do the benchmarking, it only comes up with Kapow, at least for me, and I have all the proper drivers and everything's up to date. As you know in my previous videos, I always say to do that and make sure everything's running fine. But only Kapow comes up, X16RV2 and Zelhash do not. So if we go over to the Stratum website here, you can actually scroll down and you'll see Zelhash, which Zelhash is the Flux coin algorithm, I believe. It's just another name for it, which was the Equihash one. Like I said, it gets confusing at points because different variations of names, but you could select that one if you wanted, and then that way you'll be mining Zelhash. As you see, the earnings are mainly in Zelhash. I was mining Kapow on Nicehash before, so I would obviously want to switch over to Zelhash because wherever majority of like the earnings are is where you want to be mining. So like 92% of the earnings are on Zelhash, so that's going to be your most profitable one right now. And of course, they don't list or pick up 2 gigabyte graphics cards, so you kind of have to go on your own will and go on Google and kind of figure out and search forums to figure out certain algorithms for these lower end graphics cards. But that's why I'm making these videos, in order to help you guys, and I'll be posting more of them with different algorithms. And same with this Google document, I'll be updating it as I find more, so make sure to keep this noted, and same with the Google Docs. So anyways, back to the main purpose here. If we just go to X16RV2, you'll want to find a miner for your specific GPU. So for example, I've used a GTX 760 2GB, and I've made previous videos on that, and you know that ccminer works on these lower end graphics cards if you follow these tutorials in the past. So all you can do is come over to the GitHub here. I'll post it in the description. Now this is just for like NVIDIA GTX mainly. As you see here, it's a CUDA open source miner project for most NVIDIA cards. But it all depends on like how old your graphics card is. So once you come over to the GitHub here, you're going to see these different options on the right hand side: releases, the current version, and the other releases. So what you want to do is, depending on how new your graphics card is, you can go for the latest one depending on your CUDA version. But what you want to do is click on this little plus 42 releases. This is going to bring you to a whole page of different versions of releases for ccminer, and you can do this with mostly any miner that has previous versions. That kind of shows how long it's been around and how long it's been supporting certain cards. And these little notes here will tell you what algorithms and devices they support and added and removed. So once you're over on the releases page here, what you want to do is, a note I forgot to say before going into this, is you have to know your CUDA version, but that is a quick Google search. So if I were just to Google search GTX 760 2GB CUDA version, it will bring up either like a manual page or something like that, and it will tell you what CUDA version that graphics card supports up to. And that's an important note, just because as you see in a lot of these releases, it tells you what it requires. So for example, CUDA 10 requires an NVIDIA driver for 10.48 or more recent. So if it's anything below that driver, it won't work with the CUDA 10. So there's a lot of different variations, but I'll just quickly show you the Google search and how to like specifically find the CUDA version. So what you want to do is, when you have Google open, you want to specifically type in like the company that made your GPU. So for mine, it's EVGA, and then the GTX 760 2GB, and then CUDA version after that. And if it does support CUDA, it should bring it up right at the top here, as you see. And as you see, mine has 1152 CUDA cores. And now that doesn't tell you the specific CUDA version. Now you can look at specific in-depth things to try to find the CUDA version, but now you know your card supports CUDA. But it being an older CUDA version, most likely it'll work with like CUDA 9 to 10, even 8. You could tell by your graphics driver most of the time. So if you go to check out your graphics driver, and then you can go on to like the ccminer here, and it will tell you just like up here which driver is required for which CUDA version. I already know off the top of my head that mine works with like CUDA 9 and CUDA 8. So myself, I would download version 2.3 or 2.26. And like I said, you can go ahead and try these different ones out. But if your graphics card is around the same as mine, you could go ahead and try these versions. But if you're unsure, just a quick Google search can always help you out, and that'll tell you specific in-depths about your graphics card, or you can even look on your GPU box if you still have it. I bought mine used a while ago, so obviously it didn't come with a box, so I had to look it up just like this. So once you're back over on the releases page, and once you figure out your CUDA version, or even if it supports OpenCCL, because ccminer at least supports OpenCCL, I believe, as well. So certain miners support different things. I could go on and make like a whole hour video on this different mining softwares and the different variations you need. You have to be kind of specific, and you have to make sure that the mining software can actually be picked up. But like I said, if you're on Windows and with NVIDIA with the older GPUs, ccminer is your guaranteed go-to, and that should work with most of these algorithms. But once you're on the releases page here, and you find like what version you want to come to the assets thing right below here. Some of them might be open already, some might be closed. All you do is click on it, and then what you want to do is click on the file that you want to download. So for me, it's ccminer 2.3 CUDA 9.7. I'm just doing this as an example. And then once you download it, you want to open it up to wherever it's downloaded as usual here. Hold on here. Well, let's go right to my file folder. This is a little bit easier. So once you're here, you want to click 7-zip. And then once you're on the 7-zip option or whatever extraction tool, WinRAR or 7-zip, you want to go over and click extract to and then the file folder name. And once it's extracted to, you want to do the usual process. You want to go to Start menu, Settings, and then you want to go to Update and Security. And you want to go to Windows Security, Virus and Threat Protection. manage settings, scroll down, add or remove exclusion, hit yes if it comes up, add an exclusion, add folder, and then right here you just want to select the folder that you just extracted to wherever you extracted it to, but make sure to don't open the folder like right away after it's extracted because your virus protection might pick it up. But you want to click select folder, and then another window may pop up and you just click yes on that. But once it's added just like that, you can close out of all of this and you can go back to the folder on where you downloaded it, and then wherever it's extracted you should see a bunch of different like windows and options here once you're in the folder, and that's when you know it's fully extracted and good to go. So once you're in the file folder, the best thing to do for whatever mining software you're using, especially for like 2 GB ones, you want to open up the readme folder. And what's that going to do is show you all the algorithms that it can mine. So if you scroll down a little bit, as you see right here, specify the algorithm to use. And these are all the ones that it can use. And as I noted, I have my other GPU algorithm list here. And as you see, some of them do match up. So as you see, we have, well, we'll just make this like this. There we go. So as you see, we have Alumum or whatever it is. And then we have it right here, so that supports 2 GB, so you can use ccminer for that. But like I said, for this video, it's x16r, so we have that in our list right here. So what we can do with the ccminer and the Nicehash here is we can go down to the list that we have of the algorithms and select x16r, and then whatever location and generate address, and then that's going to generate your stratum. And then what you want to do is come over to the folder that you have set up here, and then you can select any of these to kind of go ahead and edit them. I'm just going to select this one. These are your command or batch files that runs the actual mining software. So what you want to do is right click and edit with whatever one you're using, so whatever like Notepad or Notepad++ or whatever program you're using, and it's going to spit out like this like line of code here. And then what you want to do is change the things I'm going to change here. So what we'll do is open up the readme here, and as you see, x16r is the one we're going to do. So you want to copy the x16r algorithm, and then after the -a, which is dash algorithm, just like it said at the top there, you want to paste whatever algorithm you're going to use. So that will go there, and then that's going to mine that specific algorithm. And what you want to do next is come over to the Nicehash page and then click copy, and that will copy the stratum URL that you're using. And then you just want to go back to the folder you're editing, and then you can just copy from the stratum to the port number here, and then click paste, and then that's going to paste in the Nicehash one right there. And then as you see here, it's going to be the steps as it says here. So username, your BTC mining address, you can get this from your Nicehash account. So you just log in, go to your dashboard, go to your BTC wallet, and then you'll post the wallet right here. So I'll just type that, BTC wallet, and then you'll post that as a username, and then password as you see is X. So password would normally be C equals garlic for garlic coin, but then you just click X, and then that will allow you to mine with your 2 GB to Nicehash. And then these you can take out or keep in, all depending. I usually don't add any extra commands unless you really know what you're doing, because a lot of the commands can be found in the README as you see down below. So you can go ahead and read through those and see if any of those would help you. But like I said, once you have this set up, you want to click File and Save. And then you can go ahead and rename it if you want. You can go ahead and right click and rename it just to whatever you want. But you can just remember which one you edited, and then you can go ahead and just run it, and then that should allow you to start mining to Nicehash. Now like I said, obviously there's a list of miners I could go on, because you have to be specific with 2 GB graphics cards, because not all miners support them, and not all, like, obviously algorithms work with them, and I could go on and make a whole video on just the programs themselves. But these ones here should help you get started just with Nicehash if you're wanting to add like to your rigs, if you're already using Nicehash, or just want to try this out for fun. So like I said, I have all the algorithms here. I'll be posting those in the description, and you can go ahead and try like Zpool or Zergpool if you wanted. So if we just went over to zpool.ca and then you went over to algorithms, you can see which ones match up onto Zpool here. And then you can go ahead and determine what coin you want to mine. So that one has garlic coin, and then let's see, I know this one, There's a few different ones. It's yet to be very specific, like I said, when it comes to it. So VertHash, there's VertCoin itself, and then you can go ahead and see all when they mine their blocks and how long it takes. You sometimes won't get payouts right away. It all depends on the pool. Some pay per share, some pay per block. It all depends on the setup of the pool itself. But yeah, I just want to show you guys this, so it kind of opens up a new window for you guys if you haven't thought of this before. And it's just kind of like a little hidden thing with Nicehash, because of their all-in-one programs. They tend to not display all the algorithms, and you can go ahead and try this with like 2, 3, 4 gigabyte. All of them work, but I wanted to mainly focus on the 2 gigabyte and use ccminer and just get you guys up and rolling. I'll post other miners for like AMD miners and things like that in the description. There'll be a lot of information in the description for this video, but make sure to note it down and bookmark it and save it, because this is kind of going to be a good starting point for new miners or 2 gigabyte miners or just lower end miners like myself right now. So for example, for like Bitcoin Gold, you might have to find a very specific miner that will work with like 2 gigabyte cards, because I'm not sure if Mini-Z miner itself picks up lower end graphics cards like 2 gigabyte and below. I don't think I've tested this one either, so I'll update this list, and like I said, it'll be in the Google Docs for you guys down below. But again, sorry if this video ended up being longer. I didn't intend for it to be this long. I just like to point out a lot of information and help you guys out as best I can and be very descriptive with you guys, just so you all can get an in-depth look at it, so it's easy to follow and you just gain a lot of information. But I hope you all have an amazing day, and I hope this video helped you out. Make sure to hit this thumbs up if it did, or the subscribe button. But I hope you all have an amazing day, and this is Krebsey Crypto signing out.